How do you stay connected while camping? What are the best options for mobile internet on the road? From Starlink to cell boosters to dedicated hotspots, we'll cover everything you need to know about staying online in this episode of the Restless Nomads RV Show. Welcome to the Restless Nomads, the ultimate RV show for modern-day rubber tramps and weekend warriors alike. Whether you're chasing sunsets full-time, savoring seasonal escapes, or just hitting the road for a quick weekend getaway, this is your go-to show for tips, tricks, and tales from the road. Join us as we dive into everything RV, choosing the right rig, surviving life on wheels, and navigating the highs and lows of life on the move. From towables to motorhomes, budget hacks to campsite secrets, we've got you covered. So buckle up, nomads, and let's hit the road to adventure, 1 mile at a time. Welcome back to the Restless Nomads.
Hello there.
Exciting news for you guys. We have built a website. It's a travel blog, and it'll feature all kinds of cool photos and stuff from our latest adventures and stuff. That's at therestlessnomads.com. Again, therestlessnomads.com. In RVing news, Thor Industries has announced new RV technology. What do you got, honey?
Well, the tech will include automated climate control security systems and advanced mobile internet solutions.
Wow, that's cool. So it's like a smart home, but it's a smart RV.
Correct.
All right. Now, prototypes being rolled out in 2025, and they promise to offer seamless connectivity experience for full-time and remote working RVers. That's going to be kind of a game changer. Just think, if you leave the pups in the RV and you're out on an adventure, maybe you're checking out the beach or walking a hiking trail or something, you'll be able to monitor and control the temperature in the RV with your phone.
And you can learn more about these upcoming tech features at ThorIndustries.com.
Yep, that's ThorIndustries.com to learn more about the new Smart RV project. Exciting stuff.
Sounds interesting.
Way higher tech than what we have, isn't it, babe?
It is.
All right, well, let's dive in. Today's topic is utilizing the internet while you're on the road. You know, while many RVers enjoy disconnecting from technology, reliable internet access can be a necessity if you're in your RV a lot. If you want to work from your RV, maybe you've got kids in school and they need to do homework assignments and that kind of thing. And then also, I think it's really important, if you're going to be in an RV for a really long time, to have it as an entertainment option.
Absolutely.
If you're just a weekend warrior and you're really looking to disconnect and unplug for the weekend, this might not be for you. If you plan on spending a week or more in your RV, then you're probably going to want some internet. I know we feel...
Absolutely.
Don't we feel like we're missing something in life if we don't have internet?
Yeah, and we do work and other things.
Yeah, we need it for remote work.
Connected to family as well.
Running the radio station from the road. Yep, it's all dependent on the internet. So more people are embracing the nomadic lifestyle and working remotely. Internet options like Starlink and mobile hotspots help ensure stable connection for video calls and file uploads and running the radio station and things like that. So crucial for workers.
And we got to watch movies.
That's right. Brings us into our next thing. Online internet entertainment and streaming.
Ooh.
Yep, and we used the heck out of this when we were campground hosts and we were out in the middle of the woods. We wanted to be able to watch our Roku TV in the RV, and that saves you on many trips to picking up used DVDs from thrift stores and things like that, often which they skip or turn out not to be so great.
That's true.
And you end up watching the same movies 25 times in a week, right?
That's right.
All right, so also you get to keep up with us, the Restless Nomads, on YouTube if you have internet on the road, and maybe even do your own YouTube channel. Hey, if you've got a YouTube channel that you'd like us to check out, feel free to jump onto Facebook, the Restless Nomads Facebook page, and drop us a line in there. We'd love to get to know folks in the community. So another thing, babe, is internet's kind of crucial for when you're planning your trip, right? Especially if you're going on a multi-leg trip, then you need to have the internet in order to kind of plan your route. You know, it's not as easy as jumping in like you would in a Honda Civic and rolling down the road. You need to know when you're towing something that's 26 feet, 30 feet long, or you're in a big motorhome that's a little taller than your average car. You need to know that you're going to be able to fit everywhere, right?
That is true.
So Google Maps, Compendium. Also, it's important to be aware of the weather. You don't want to be driving in Nevada down the highway when there's 100-mile-an-hour winds in a high-sided vehicle. It's just never a good idea. But it can help RVers plan our routes.
And entertainment.
Yes, and like we said, entertainment a little bit ago. Also, it's important to have it so that you can at least find, if not book, your next campsite, which we all know that a lot of times, especially in the summer months, you have to do that well in advance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just rolling the dice on whether you're going to get anything. Probably not a problem for folks that stay on National Forest Service and BLM land. They will likely find a place. There's no reservations. But finding those places requires internet. Unless you're going to pull out the old USGS map, right?
Right.
Okay, and then like we said, having connection with family and friends while you're on the road is super important. Also, important media updates, also important. And you know, these days, everyone is connected with their cell phones, so you'll be able to get the emergency alert system broadcasts and things like that should one come out while you're on the road. So when facing the decision to unplug for a bit or to enjoy internet on the road, it's a good idea to kind of go at it with a balanced approach. You know, you can unplug, just turn off your phone for a while, and maybe you don't need a bunch of high-speed internet while you're out in the woods. Although if you stay out there for any length of time, you're probably going to find that you would like that. All right, we'll give you all the nitty-gritty details on internet options on the road here in just a bit. But first, it's time for the RV Pro Tip of the Week. And this one is cooking in your RV with an Instapot.
One of my favorite things to do.
It's been a game changer, hasn't it been?
It really has.
Yep, the Instapot is awesome for RVing. It's compact, energy efficient, and you can cook meals quickly with minimal cleanup.
And many different cycles. You can saute
it does
in it.
Everything.
You can steam in it.
It does
bake in it.
It does so much. And it's all one-pot meals, which is super cool. Chili, stew, pasta, all that stuff.
It also works great for making rice, hard-boiled eggs, and even baked goods.
That's right.
Like I said.
We're not being paid for this, by the way. We just love Instapot. It's probably the best $80 we've ever spent in our life.
Yes.
We love that thing. Now, disclaimer here. Just make sure that your RV power system can handle it. It's relatively low draw. It doesn't draw a whole lot. But if you're boondocking, you want to have it on a good battery bank or even cut on the generator. So we have made several meals in the Instapot, one of which is ribs. Tell us all about that, darling.
Oh, boy. They turned out so well. We made ribs. We removed the membrane from the back of the rib. And you want to use a knife to loosen and then peel it off with a paper towel. Then you want to rub the ribs generously with the dry rub, and that can be of any choice of yours. I love paprika and salt and pepper and garlic. Let sit for at least 15 minutes.
Or even throw it in the fridge overnight.
Right.
And that works too.
Gives a deeper flavor.
It does. So how do you do it, darling?
Well, then you prepare the Instapot. I usually spray it or put some olive oil in it. And you want to pour water, apple cider vinegar, or liquid smoke into the Instapot.
Yeah, just about a flavor. Just about a cup, right? Right to like the bottom end of the trivet, which is the metal rack in the pot.
Then stand the ribs upright, wrapping them in a circle around the inner pot. And I also recall that you used Dr. Pepper.
I did, yeah.
Diet
Instead of
Dr.
water and apple cider vinegar, you can use Diet Dr. Pepper or even Dr. Pepper.
You can get really creative.
Yeah, just like you would in an oven. That's how they do it in restaurants and stuff.
And then you want to pressure cook. You seal the Instapot lid and be very careful. Set the valve to sealing. And then you want to cook on high pressure for 25 to 30 minutes. 25 minutes for baby back ribs and then 30 minutes for spare ribs.
All right. And then after 25 minutes or so, it takes a little bit of time for the Instapot to warm up. And then it'll start the countdown with your 25 to 30 minutes. And after that's done, just let it be, let it sit, and the pressure will naturally release after about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to open that lid. Right. And how do we finish this off, darling?
Ooh, well, barbecued sauce, there again, you can get really creative. What you do is you can put together ketchup and brown sugar, and you can put mustard in it. I like sneaking a little bit of mustard. It's a certain caramelized kind. Mike doesn't like
I don't like mustard typically, but I do love it the way she's talking about it on meats. It is super good.
And we use a sugar-free sweetener always. And we add onions, things to that nature. And then you slice the ribs and you serve with the extra barbecued sauce.
And enjoy some finger-licking ribs from your Instapot, a one-pot experience in an RV. No big deal to clean that pot out. They're super easy to clean. And what can you have with your ribs, babe?
Well, you can pair it with coleslaw, baked beans, potatoes, or cornbread for a perfect meal.
Yep. I think what we did is mashed potatoes, just the dehydrated mashed potatoes, super easy. And also some green beans. And just throw some green beans in the microwave for a little bit, and super good.
Mm-hmm. Now, something to consider, that meal would take, I'd say, a couple hours at home if you want really, really good tender ribs. But I got to tell you, when you cook it in the Instapot, it really only takes 30 minutes, and it tastes delicious.
Oh, yeah, they fall apart.
It's tender, and it doesn't take very much time. We've made soups that take, 25 minutes. We cut up tons of vegetables and put beans and a meat of choice, and it just turns out delicious.
It does. It works flavor. It works for pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. The Instapot, the best $80 we've ever spent. And I know that some of you are going, well, doesn't that take up a bunch of room in the RV? Let me tell you, it is worth its weight in gold.
Well, you can get all different sizes.
You can. And if it's just you and another person, like you and your wife, I'd recommend getting the smaller. We got the smaller of the two, which is big.
The in-between.
Yeah, it's big. Mm-hmm. Big enough for us. If you get the big one...
I think it's 6 quarts is the one.
Yeah, I think you're right. But if you get the real big one, then it might be a little overkill for 2 people, but it will work great for 5 people or something like that if you have a large family. So, with you guys with the bunkhouse RVs, right? Doing the family reunions and stuff like that. Well, hey, after the break, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty with the mobile internet options out there for RVers and what we think of each one and just ways to stay connected on the road. Hope you got some ideas. Go out there and get you an Instapot. Like I said, we're not paid by them. We just love the product that much. The Instapot, a game changer for RV cooking.
And we don't want to forget, you can also bake in there.
Yeah.
You can make a cake. You can make bread.
It's so versatile. I mean, It's like, the best thing since tires for RVers, I think.
Okay, that's a man thing.
I mean, the best thing since tires were invented. I mean, it's that essential. Really, really good. All right, we'll go to a break now, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty right after this here on the Restless Nomads RV Show. Want to get your business noticed? Sponsor a show on KKFO Gold Country Radio on 103.3 FM and create awareness through on-air announcements, our online stream at goldcountryradio.org, and our podcasts that live on forever. Your message reaches a broad local audience while also targeting listeners who choose to tune in to the shows they love. Plus, we promote your sponsorship across our website and social media. For more information, email goldcountryradio@gmail.com. Call 541-238-6989 or visit goldcountryradio.org. Gold Country Radio, your message heard locally and beyond. All right, back from the break. And don't forget to check out goldcountryradio.org. Click on featured shows. That's where you can find us. It's one of our homes online. That's the radio station that we manage, oftentimes from the road, with internet, which is what we're talking about today. Again, that website, goldcountryradio.org, and then click on featured shows. Let's dive right into it. We need internet in a bad kind of way, don't we, baby, when we're on the road? Because we manage this radio station, and that is completely dependent on being connected to the internet. Now, some mobile internet options for RVers. You can always use your phone as a hotspot, and we've done this quite often. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is flip your phone's hotspot on, then get on your Roku TV and your RV or your laptop or whatever device that you're using and connect to it like you would connect to a Wi-Fi network. And as long as you have cell coverage, you'll have decent enough internet.
And it works well in areas with strong cell signals, but it can be limited by data caps and slower speeds during network, congestion.
Yeah, and we found that
you're around a lot of other people and they're using and streaming, and
we found that to be true on the coast with the hotspot on the phone. I think we had like 2 bars over on the coast, and we tried to turn on the hotspot, and it just really wasn't cutting it, was it, darling?
No.
So be aware of that. It's going to depend on signal strength, and it's really going to depend on how many people are using that network. We have Verizon, and that works most of the time.
I believe it's the best. I think there's a lot more towers in more areas, and we've gotten farther with Verizon than any other carrier that I know of.
Yeah, I know T-Mobile is a close competitor with Verizon. If you've used T-Mobile hotspot on your phone while camping, then jump onto our Facebook page and let us know your experience with that. We've never used T-Mobile when we're out there camping. So we've been Verizon customers for a long, long time. I guess we're a little bit loyal, but I think these days, the competitors have as good of coverage as Verizon even these days. Mm-hmm. So
I know that I had T-Mobile before, and I found that Verizon, like I said, they had a lot more towers, and it got me further with being able to use my devices.
Right. Well, here's another thing to consider as far as using your phone as a hotspot. If you do that, it's going to suck your battery so fast.
Quickly.
Oh, yeah. You turn on your phone, it's at 100%. 1 hour later, it's at 25%. So, and that's something that we've experienced. So every time that we've done it while we're in the RV, if we want to watch a movie or something, we make sure that our phone is on the charger while it's on that hotspot. But that also means that you can't take your phone and do anything much with it unless you're sitting right there tethered to the wall. Oh, and another thing that you have to be aware of, if you put your phone on as a hotspot and then go get firewood with your phone in your pocket and your wife is watching a movie and you go further than the Wi-Fi signal from your phone can transmit,
then I won't get the service.
Yeah, she will not be happy. And we've done that several times. Or even when she's in the middle of a game online or something and I go somewhere and, get about 30 feet away from the RV and then the game just shuts down. And not a happy camper, huh, babe?
Nope.
So keep that in mind. If you're using...
Not in the middle of a movie, that is.
Yeah, using your phone, you have some limitations there. It works good if you're like on the road and you pull over at a rest stop and you're spending the night and you want to watch a movie while you're laying in bed or something. That's a great option for you and probably the cheapest option. But like Angie was saying, be aware of those data caps because most of the time your plan will include something like 25 gigs of hotspot, and then you'll be limited in speeds. You'll be throttled back after you reach that 25 gigs. So on your streaming devices and stuff, set the streaming quality to lower, and that like 720 will oftentimes conserve some of that. You won't burn through your data quite as fast, and you'll still be able to watch your shows just a little less quality. And let's face it, who in an RV is really looking for a 4K TV experience? We're just looking for stuff to entertain us for a while, right? Mm-hmm. So, and if you run out of data, I guess you have to get outside and enjoy the great outdoors.
Oh, I love that too.
Yeah. So just some things to think about if you're going to use your phone as a hotspot. Now, the second option that removes some of these some of the barriers is a dedicated mobile hotspot like a Verizon Jetpack or a T-Mobile home internet, and they can be a little bit more reliable in terms of connection, oftentimes with higher limits on your data. And let me back up to one thing. So even though you reach your data cap and they throttle you back, we've never had a problem on our Roku TV as long as we're set at a lower resolution, like 720. Mm-hmm. Even once we surpass the data cap and we go to throttled, we've been able to watch TV nonstop, even at the lower speeds. So,
yeah, great for long-term RVers, who need consistent connectivity, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, like these mobile hotspots, the dedicated devices, not your phone, but the jetpacks and things, they've come a long way. Remember, honey, when we first...
They can be expensive.
Well, when we first got into it, 10 years ago, jetpacks were incredibly expensive. Oh, my gosh. It was $10 a gig.
Yeah.
Back then. But nowadays, we have a Verizon Cube, and we use that thing all over the place. We use it at the tower site. It provides internet up there for the radio station, and then we also have it at home occasionally. We'll bring it down here in case the Spectrum internet gets shut off. It's kind of our backup internet here at home, and we pack it on the road because we can use it on the road, and it offers a little bit better reliability, and I don't have to worry about walking away while Angie's watching a movie.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You might get in trouble for that one.
Absolutely. So the jetpack is a good way to go, or any of those dedicated mobile hotspots. And our jetpack or our cube, I guess I should say, is unlimited data these days. I think they've moved away from the buying per gig, which was super expensive back 10 years ago. I think we would pay $100. Yeah, $100 for 10 gigs. And then we'd burn through that pretty quick. And it was like, well, do we recharge or not? Nowadays, I think they've moved away from that business model, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, me too.
It's gone the way of long-distance call rates. Another option is Starlink. That's a very popular option. What do you think about Starlink, honey?
I really liked it. I felt really blessed to have that.
Yeah.
But all in all, I really appreciated what it provided during our times of camping when it was terrible weather and we couldn't go out and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, and so weather is definitely a huge concern in terms of where you put it, where you mount it. But I like some of the things about it that they have built in to mitigate service interruptions during weather. Now, you're still going to face occasional service interruptions with Starlink because of weather. That's going to happen here and there, but it reacquires the signal because the satellites are moving around the Earth, and so it's going to start finding the next satellite as soon as the service is interrupted, and you'll see the dish start moving out there trying to find the next satellite. And the Starlink dishes actually have a built-in heater, so that when snow does fall on it...
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, typically it doesn't build up on there. It'll melt right off, which is super convenient. I mean, it's a quality product for what it is.
Yeah.
And unlike Dish TV, where you need a clear view to the south, Starlink, at least in the Pacific Northwest, you need a clear view to the north. And it doesn't necessarily have to be 100% clear view. If you have a twig or something in the way, it will work just fine. If you're in really dense foliage, then it will not work very well for you. Now, I will say that Starlink, as far as the penetration of it, is way better than mobile satellite TV like Dish Network. That was pretty awful.
It was.
I mean, we could have almost a totally clear shot to the southern sky, and one little twig would be in the way, and it would knock the signal off, and it wouldn't acquire the satellite, and it wouldn't reacquire automatically like Starlink does. So I don't know if even if you're just going to use it for TV instead of satellite, I think it's way better.
I do recall that, we were in some wooded areas, as long as, like you said, open areas.
Yeah, we shot through some gaps
really
in the trees.
Lucky in certain areas.
We shot through some gaps in the trees occasionally with Starlink that never would have been possible with Dish TV. It's a lot more robust of a system, I think.
I do too.
And you get your Roku streaming apps like that. It's a little more versatile too, because not only is it giving you your TV, but it's also giving you connectivity to the internet, which is great. You can jump on the laptop and watch YouTube videos or whatever you want to do. It does draw down on power. We ran it off of a battery bank for a little while on the inverter, and I think it was a 100 amp hour battery, and we made it about 6 hours with that and the TV going before it shut off. Another thing that a lot of people try and are really frustrated with are the Wi-Fi extenders. And they can be useful if you're like on the outskirts of a campground that offers Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi is decent in the first place. You can put that Wi-Fi extender up to boost that signal up. But a lot of people will buy these Wi-Fi extenders and they amplify the crappy internet, which does nothing for you.
And it can help in places where the main router is far away from your RV.
That's it. It's all about your location in reference to the router. It has nothing to do with how fast that router is going. So if you have slow internet on your cell phone sitting in the clubhouse next to the router, don't buy an RV Wi-Fi extender thinking that that's going to help your speeds in your RV that's 400 feet away.
Yeah.
Because it just won't happen. And then we also touched on briefly mobile satellite TV. I know it's popular with some folks. Dish Network is the one that is currently offering the service. DirecTV is now no longer offering the mobile setup. Truckers will have them on their trucks. And some people love them. Let me tell you, I mean, maybe a trucker would have a different experience because they're parked in these big parking lots with clear shots to the southern sky every day. For RVers, if you're going to be camping out in the woods around any kind of trees, I don't think it's worth it. Certainly isn't.
It would be a waste of money to
exactly.
lose it.
That's what we found. And when we did have it, when we were able to pull in Dish TV, the few times that we'd be parked in an open field, what was our biggest frustration with that? It was the commercials, right? You pay all this money, and 99 of 100 channels is infomercials, and then the one channel that is on that has something that you want to watch is interrupted every 3 minutes with commercials. It's mind-blowing.
You're not getting quality TV, believe me.
Exactly. Just go with Starlink.
Yep, Starlink was definitely my favorite.
Yeah. And I think it's a little more expensive. The Dish Network TV, I think, starts at about $30 a month, and that's pay-as-you-go, just like Starlink is pay-as-you-go. You pay for 30 days in advance. At the end of the 30 days, you choose whether to renew or not, but there's not any contracts. Now, Starlink is $150 a month, but in our opinion, it's way better than Dish Network TV.
It has worked consistently better for streaming services like Netflix and YouTube.
Exactly. And now I got to say that $30 a month for Dish Network, they give you like 3 channels or something.
Yep. It's not very much.
Yeah. So in order to get any real watchability out of it, you would have to pay at least $60. And at that point, you're pretty close to halfway to Starlink anyway. I would go with that.
I would too.
Well, hopefully we shed some light on some mobile internet options today. It's time to do our campground and park review. This time, we've hosted here for a summer, Lava Lake, Oregon.
Yes.
Take it away, babe.
Well, Lava Lake, Oregon, which is located in the Deschutes National Forest, Lava Lake Campground offers a beautiful escape to me. I thought it had beautiful riverfront, lakefront views and great fishing opportunities.
And real quick, not to interrupt you, but it is the head of the Deschutes River.
Yes. And the sites are primitive with no hookups, so plan accordingly.
Yep, and they have some limited cell service there.
Hiking trails and boating opportunities.
That's right. And so there's Lava Lake, the larger of the two. And that has 60 sites, I believe. And that lake is gorgeous. And you can take motorized boats on that. You can take anything you want on that one. And then over on the other side is Little Lava Lake. And they have about 15 sites in there.
And the sites are fairly big.
They are. And that lake is non-motorized watercraft only. So stand-up paddleboards, kayakers, they love that side.
Yeah, there's a store there. And it's a general store.
Oh, the resort.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. They have a little general store.
They're so nice there.
They're super nice. Family-run resort with a little general store and boat rentals and things like that.
And the camping fees start at $18 a night.
Not bad. If you've got one of those National Forest passes, then you can knock half off of that. So it's $9 a night, and you can't ask for a better deal than that. If you are coming and you want to spend the night, make sure that you always bring cash with you or a check. That's pretty much a good policy for any camper, for you new campers out there. Always bring cash or a checkbook, because these campgrounds do not have a way to run your card.
No, they have an Iron Ranger.
Exactly. And I can't tell you as a host how many times someone would hand me a card or try to hand me a card to pay for their site, and I'm like,
they'd be disappointed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we don't have a card reader or anything like that. We're cash or check only. And they'd be like, oh, where's the closest ATM? And I'm like, oh, it's about 60 miles south of here. So save yourself some headache and always take at least $100 with you or a checkbook when you're camping. It's good to have that. Just keep it in your RV, like in a coffee can or something.
Well, another wonderful thing is there are horse camps nearby, and sometimes there will be people on horses that come, and couple resorts that aren't too far to drive to.
And they have little restaurants.
Have dinner at. Yeah. They're amazing, and they have bands even.
As you can tell, we had a terrible time at Lava Lake over that summer.
And they have ice cream, and the food was just amazing.
Yeah, that was Cultus Lake is the one you're thinking of.
I love it.
That's there's all these campgrounds
and the
on
views
the Cascade Lakes Highway. That's just north of Highway 58 and 97 junction. If you take the Crescent Lake cutoff and then you head up Cascade Lakes Highway towards Mount Bachelor, there's just campground after campground on this highway, and Lava Lake is one of those. All kinds of good views.
Fishing is good.
Yep, absolutely. So that wraps up this episode of the Restless Nomads Show. If you enjoyed today's topic on staying connected while RVing, be sure to check out our website. Again, that's therestlessnomads.com for more info. Until next time, safe travels and happy camping.
Happy camping.
See you guys later.